Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Hi there, I'm Scott Hall, and I've been with Moroso for a little over 25 years. My current title is Product and Technical Engineer. Today I'm going to show you my 1937 Chevy Business Coupe. So I've had the car for a little over 13 years. I inherited it from my father after he passed away. He started building the car in the early 80s. Now, he was drag racing at the time, and it took him forever to get anything done on it. Well, once he stopped racing in 87, in about a year and a half, he was able to finish it. And the summer of 1989, this car was finished and driving on the road. So one of the really cool parts about this car is that when my father built this car, he owned an engine shop. So he took in a big block Chevy on trade when the modified tour cars were actually switching over to small blocks. So this motor sat in the side of the shop, but when it was finally ready, he built a 513 cubic inch, 87 octane pump gas engine. A lot of nice components in this engine. Dynoed it, made 650 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque. Well, obviously made plenty of power for that car. But he built it with a modern style independent rear and front suspension. It's actually a C3 Corvette rear end and independent A-arm front end. So yes, it makes power, but the car handles really nice with disc brakes on all four corners. Now, mind you, this was in the late 80s when he did this, and he had a friend of his talk him into it. And I think it's one of the great features of the car is it's really actually very modern to this day with plenty of horsepower. So I just basically went through the entire car and redid a lot of the stuff on it and was able to add some things to the engine and drivetrain. A Moroso 20405 pan that holds about 5 or 6 quarts with a 22-185 big block high volume oil pump works perfect in it. We have the 68-469 billet valve covers on it that I painted. They look phenomenal. Have a traditional Moroso air cleaner top and bottom to it. And obviously a set of Moroso wires that I found gray wire that we make that really offset the single color of that engine that I came up with. Now underneath the car, we have a transmission pan for the Turbo 400, and I put a drive shaft loop on it while I had the opportunity in case I ever do decide to race the car. So my favorite part about this car is I think just knowing how far ahead my dad was when he built this car and how nice it came out. Yeah, horsepower is easy to build, but there's just so many features about the chassis, the way he laid out the suspension, and just a lot of little detail things about the bodywork, the color people love. It's funny, my dad was colorblind, but that the maroon that you see on it's a 1985 Cadillac color, and it really stops people in their tracks when they see it. And for me, being the caretaker of this car, I've modernized it. It's a lot of my touches too on it. So it's almost like him and I get to work on this car together, even though he's no longer with me. It's our car, really. So, and I'm very proud of the thing. So my next project on the car, well, I just got done redoing a whole bunch of things on this thing to make it drive and roadworthy. I can now take this car out for a 3 or 4 hour trip. We put shoulder belts in it. The car is super nice to work with. Nothing leaks. It's my ideal car right now. But what my dad didn't think of in the 1980s, that my wife and I do now when we drive this car is we need a place to put our Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee and put our cell phone so we can charge it. So I'm actually building a center console in this car. It's a very narrow car inside, but we're gonna build a console so we can put 2 large cups and actually hold a cell phone because we use it for GPS and we actually use it for streaming our radio stations too. So I'm gonna come up with a center console, kind of out of my wheelhouse doing woodworking and some fiberglass work, but come up with some good ideas and gonna just modernize it even more and make it more comfortable. Well, I'm Scott Hall. Thank you for spending some time with me and letting me show you my car. I know your car means the world to you as this car does to me. And obviously this industry and whole world we live in with cars is just awesome. So thank you for your time. And be sure to stay around and check out some more car tours.